ఫిబ్రవరి ఫస్ట్ నుంచి 30 ఫిబ్రవరి ఫస్ట్ నుంచి 30 వెళ్ళిపోతాం. ఈ 4 రోజులు మార్చొద్దండి. మేజర్ ఏమైనా ప్రాబ్లం ఉందంటే ఆపేస్తాం.
Hello, Samir. Hello, Samir.
Morning, Samir. Morning, everyone.
Morning, everybody.
Hi, good morning to everyone. Just give few minutes. Everyone join, then we'll start the networking session. Okay.
దాని తర్వాత 30కి వెళ్దాం. లేదు
Just give 2-3 minutes. We'll start. Okay. Okay. So, very good morning. So we'll be starting today the networking session. People who are new to the networking and people who has already having a knowledge to networking. Networking is the very critical piece in your AWS. Without networking, you will not be able to do any kind of a labs or solutions in AWS. So for this, you should have certain basic skills which prior coming to AWS session, you should have certain skills on the networking part. So what is that skills are required for the networking? What is that you should have a knowledge, which I'll be explaining you. Uh, Before that, to understand the basics of networking, I will not be going directly to the AWS networking and will not teach you directly Amazon network stuff and all. Before that, we'll understand certain fundamentals of networking and we'll understand how people are clear with the fundamentals. Then accordingly, we can take up the actual Amazon networking, what all things are there in the networking, what all features you can provide in the networking. All those things we will go step by step. Okay. Now, to understand the AWS networking or to understand any kind of a network, so the very important thing is that what you need to understand is that what is IP addressing, what is a network, and what is subnet. How many people are aware about this? What is IP addressing, what is networking, and what is subnet? Can answer. This should be very interactive. You need to answer these questions because these are the fundamentals of your networking concept. What is network? What is IP addressing? Forget about Amazon, Azure, Google Cloud, no cloud. Just tell me the basics. Okay, I think it is already unmute only. Are you able to speak? Can you check now? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So IP addressing is the talking between the host and the initiator through the IP address. I mean, IP address is the identifier of a particular system in the network. Network is the component which interconnect between two nodes or between two people. You can say it is called networking, where we can share the files, servers, and other data. And subnet is the segment of a particular network where the nodes can interact between each other, and data can be flowed between them.
Okay. Any other answers?
Yes, Samir. Actually, IP addressing, the best example I can give is see, when we type in a website address, right? We understand that it is Amazon.com. But computers in the network, they will know it in the form of IP address. That is numbers. That is 192 dot whatever, etc., etc. Because they will not be able to understand Amazon.com, right? They understand only numbers. So that is about IP addressing. And network is the same. Network is just a connection of different devices. And subnet is just a portion of that network. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my understanding.
Okay, IP address is a logical number where all the machines in the network will be assigned. Without IP address, nothing can be communicated in the networking.
Okay.
IP addressing is a network and host identifier.
Okay.
IP address is recognized for any device to connect in internet. without IP address, we cannot connect one device to another device, either in private, public, or any.
Okay.
IP address is a physical address given to a particular host on a network.
Physical address given to the specific host. Okay.
Host, yeah, on a network. It's a
Okay.
network address, and networking is a connection between the two systems or a node.
Very good. Okay.
Then subnet is to identify the network of a host and a server or where it comes from. Network. Which network is it on?
Okay. Very good. So different people are telling different answers, like IP addressing, network, and subnet. The first thing is that IP address is nothing but internet protocol address. For every machine to communicate, you need to have an IP address. And network is nothing but communication of devices. We basically call it as network, like communication between multiple switches, communication between multiple routers, communication between multiple environments. We call it as uh, network. And subnet is nothing but the piece of networks. We call it as subnet.
Samir, can you tell again what is IP addressing, subnet, and network?
IP
Because
addressing is nothing but it's an internet protocol which is used to communicate between multiple devices. Every machine requires an IP address. Network is nothing but communication of multiple devices like routers, switches, or hubs. If you want to communicate from one device to another device, we need to have the network. And the third one is nothing but, as I told you, right, subnets is nothing but a portion of your network. So this all, whether you take IP addressing or whether you take network, it's all about the networking part. So here what you need to understand in this is that the class, how the IP addressing has been defined, what kind of a classes this IP addressing has been defined, who has defined. So basically in ICANN people, Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, they defined this IP addressing with a concept. So you need to understand how they have defined this as a concept. In this, there are three types of classes, right? So total 5 types. I think you all know. Class A,
B, C.
Class B, Class C,
class D
Class
and class
D,
E.
Class E. Now, Class A starts from where? Which range to which range?
1 to 1.
10 to 1,
126.
1
10
to
to
126. Then
1 to
128 to 191. Then
191 to 227.
yeah,
192 to
223.
227. Acha. Okay.
Yeah, 192 to 223. Then 224 to
239.
239. And what is Class D?
224 to 239, I believe.
And Class E?
240 to
254.
4. So right, Class A 1 to 126, Class B 128 to 191, Class C 192 to 223, Class D 192 224 to 239, and Class E 240 to 254. So these are the 5 different classes which we have. Right, Class A, Class B, Class C, Class D, Class C. In these 5 different classes, you also should know something called as 2 types. One is called as private, and second one is called as
Public.
public. What is private network and what is public network? Or you can say private class or public class. I think these all are the fundamentals. You should have been aware already. What is private class and what is public class?
Private class, the IP we are using means our network, that is private class, and the IP which using for public means internet, that is public class.
Okay.
Private class is made available only to specific people, and public class is available for everyone.
Okay.
Private class is the restricted one, and public class is open to all, open to everybody.
Private is to access internally network, and public is to access externally.
Okay. Okay, so every IP addressing, what they did is that they made a private class and public class network. Okay, so private class and public class, what is the difference in private class and public class is, private class is basically for the LAN environment, we say, basically for the local area network, we say, and public class is basically for the people who are connecting over the internet. So in the IPv addressing, so this private and public classes are been very much used. So the public IP addresses can be accessed over the internet. So that's the reason public IPs, we say, public IPs are nothing but which can be accessed over the internet, and where you can access across the globe, right? And private IP address, in other hand, we say basically which we assign to our local computers, which means that for my laptops, for my desktops, for my local computers, we assign something called as private class. But public class is nothing but basically assigned for global internet, means internet service providers, ISPs, internet public accessibility or globally accessibility. We go and we configure this public classes. So private class and public class are the two different types of classes in your networking. So which means that out of your 5 class ranges, there are certain private classes which are defined by IANA people. So basically internet assigned numbers authority people, what they did is that they defined these public classes and private classes. In the private classes, this is 10 network is one class, and the second private class is 172 network, and the third private class is 192 dot network. So there are 3 different classes, and IP address is basically
Internet port.
2 flavors. One is IPv4 and second one is
IPv6.
IPv6.
Right? But in the market, mostly running IPv4. Right? So IPv4. I'm just muting.
Can somebody please go on mute?
Yeah, I'm just muting. Okay. So IPv4 and IPv6, I just muted everyone so that there's no disturbance. So as I told you, IPv4 and IPv6, these are 2 different IP addressing, in which, as I mentioned, like private IP addressing and public IP addressing. Private IP addressing is something for my private IP addresses are for my local LAN machines. If I want to access or my local machines, or it can be saying for your desktops, for your laptops, for your internal machines, always you need to use private IP addresses. Private IP addresses with what range? 3 ranges we have: 10 range, 172 range, and 192 range. Only these 3 ranges are there. Public IP addresses, public IP address is global IP, which is provided by ISP, Internet Service Provider. So public IP address is nothing but which is provided by Internet Service Provider, okay, which is provided by ISP. So if you want to access the machine from anywhere in the world, globally, if you want to access the machine from anywhere in the world, we need to have something called as public IP addresses. So Amazon is providing you private IP addresses. Amazon is providing you public IP addresses. You need to understand which one will be used where. So any local network you need to go, then you have private IP addressing anywhere you want to go globally. Then we have something called as public IP addressing. Both are very, very important in when it comes to the networking, right? So forget about cloud, whether you take AWS cloud or Azure cloud or Google cloud, keep the cloud aside. Whether it is a normal environment, whether it's a cloud environment, whether you take any environment, the concept of networking will never change. It will be the same to same. There is no difference on, or there is no difference in the concept when it comes to the cloud. So you need to understand, whenever it comes to the cloud, there is no difference in the networking. So whether you take any platform, the networking will never change. So same private IP addressing will be there, same public IP addressing will be there. Public IP addressing will be provided with the ISP providers. Private IP addressing is nothing but you need to create. So there is three classes: class A, class B, and class C. Now these three class houses only you need to play. Now you will get a doubt, what is this class A, class B, class C? As I told you, class A private range is 10.0.0.0, basically class A 10.x.x, and class B 172.0.0.0, and class C, right, 192.168.0. or 192.0.0.0. That's basically x.x.x. So what is this class A, class B, class C? How it will be helpful, and why I should use these three different classes? And do we have any range of public IP ranges? So you need to understand here, right? What you need to understand is that when it comes to the private IP addressing and public IP addressing, so Shivling's question is that, do we have any range? Anything beyond these private classes can be considered as a public IP addresses, which means that 200, 50, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, any ranges which will not fall in between 10, 172, 192 will come under public ranges. So there is not a defined like that, this and this. Anything beyond these ranges, 10, 172 and 192, we consider it as public IP ranges, and 10, 172, 192 we consider it as private IP ranges. Okay, so you need to understand that you need to use the private IP addressing and public IP addressing. You need to follow this. Public IP addressing, you don't need to worry, because internet provider will provide you. Private IP address is the only thing which you need to configure. Now coming to the question, sir, do I need to use 10 range, or do I need to use 172 range, or do I need to use 192 range? Which one I need to use it in the in general platform of, we call it as private network. So remember here, private IP addressing is basically used for LAN, right? So there are blocks, basically what IANN people or internet assigned numbers and authority people, what they did is that, so they divided into the blocks, and they made they made in a such a way that your IP addressing is 8.8.8.8, means 1 octet is equal to 1 octet is equal to how many bits? 8 bits. So your IP addressing IPv4 is 8.8.8 is equal to 8 into 4 32-bit IP addresses. So your IP addressing has been divided into 32-bit IP addresses, right? So what they did is that 10 network and 172 network and 192 network in the private IP addressing, they made these kind of a changes, like so 10.0.0.0, which is nothing but one network bit and 3 host bits. When it comes to 172.x dot basically 16.0.0, they made 2 network bits and 2 host bits. When it comes to the 192, basically 192.168.0.0, they made how many? 3 network bits and 1 host bit. So what they did is that in class A, it will be a single class A network. It's a huge network which can provide you up to 64,000 plus IPs. In class B, they made it as class B networks, around multiple networks. And in class C, you have again 256 hosts with a single network. So basically, if you want huge or enterprise environment, you need a very, very high IP address, means very big environment, like companies like IBM, HCL, or huge platform, they can go with 10 network because it consists more host bits. So you can see, right, 3 hosts, which is nothing but you're getting more number of IPs. If you go with 172.16.0.0, where you get compared to 10 network, average means 10 network is for enterprise platform, enterprise people, where you get more number of 16 lakhs of IP addresses you will get. And when it comes to 172 network, you will get around 10 lakhs of IP addresses. When it comes to your 192.168, you will get 65,000 IP addresses. So basically what happens is that there is 192 or 10 or 172. If you're going with 10 network, it is for the bigger environment, bigger customers, where they need a lot of, they have a lot of environment where they use so many IP addresses. There you can go with class A. And medium environment, you can go with 172. Smaller organizations, smaller environment, you can go with your 192. So class A, class B, class C, three different platforms, right? Class A, class B, class C. Either you can use class A also, either you can go with class B also, you can go with class C also. Amazon or Azure or Google or your environment supports class A, class B, class C. You cannot use class D and class C, that is for experimental and other purposes. Only class A private IP addressing you can use, class B private addressing you can use, class E private addressing you can use. Now you will get a doubt, sir, can I use IPv6? IPv6 is a latest platform which which came into the market, which is becoming very famous nowadays. IPv6 protocol, which is again an internet protocol, right? So basically it is 128-bit address. We say how you have 32-bit address, this is 128-bit address IPv6. But presently we are not using in Amazon in any of our labs. Amazon gives you an option of IPv6 also, but we are not using, nor in Azure or Google. But you have a planning, if you want to get into IPv6, you need to learn the IPv6 systeming, like how exactly you can define, then you can use. But as of now, we'll be doing mostly with the IPv4 addressing. So this IPv4 addressing will come with 3 options: class A, class B, class C, or 3 private ranges: class A private range, class B private range, and class C private range. And as I told you, these 3 private ranges you need to use with 32-bit IP addresses, and 172.10.0.0, 172.16.0 or 192.168.0. So these are the 3 private IP addresses you need to use. And other than that, you need to understand one more thing called as CIDR, classless interdomain routing, which is nothing but which we use for further classifying the network. or further allocating the IP routing of the network, we use this CIDR. So CIDR blocks, basically what we are doing is that, so we are breaking the network. So when we say subnet is nothing but breaking the network into smaller pieces, right? Subnet is nothing but breaking the network into smaller pieces. So any network can be broken into smaller pieces. So what is this? What do you mean by breaking the network into smaller pieces? Basically, logical subdivision of an IP network, we call it as subnet. What we say? Logical subdivision of an IP network, we call it as subnet. So for IPv4 addressing, you can do subnetting, so that you will get, you're breaking the network into pieces. Suppose, let's assume if you say 192.168.0.0, right? So the octet is from 8 to 32 bit, right? So every octet has from 8 to 32 bit. If I say 24, right? If I say breaking into /24 network, which means that my 192.168.0.0 will be first IP, 192.168.0.255 will be my last IP, right? Because I'm breaking into from /24. If I say /10, /16, /28, from /8 till /32, you can break the network into pieces, because those are the network. Means /8 is the first octet, again /16 and /32, right? So we have multiple ways to do this subnetting. So lot many people will say that, sir, I am not from a subnetting background, I don't have any knowledge in subnet, how will I, how can I do the subnetting? Do I need to do some calculation? I never did it into this, I am a new to the networking. What is the easiest way to break the network, or easiest way to make a subnet? Not to worry at all. People who don't know ABCD of networking also, not to worry at all. All that you should know is that, what is that you need a platform, how many IPs you need for your environment. That capability of deciding and thinking you should know. Rest all, nowadays calculator is there available ready-made in the market. You can directly log into the calculator and you can try to access it. Now let me explain you and let me show you very simple way of calculating, okay? Where you have a ready-made calculator, you put it in the calculator, you define the 18 and you define the value, and subnet mask bits where whatever you want, you will get it. So Nishant, please hold on, everything will come whenever we discuss. There are options are there. When you see the subnet calculator, you will find those things, okay? So when I show you the calculator, there you have an option like how to define the subnet bits and how to define the mask bits and how exactly it will be defining. So if I go to the Google, okay, people who doesn't know any networking, all that they need to do is that very simple. If I go here, I'm just sharing my screen, let me know. So I think everyone are able to see my Google screen. So I will type IP subnet calculator. Okay, this is the easiest way to do the calculation without any kind of a manual work. If you want to define the IP addressing, it's a very simple and easiest way. Go here and type IP subnet calculator, and you're unable to see my screen. Okay, I don't know. Nobody's able to see my screen, Google screen. I think okay, so some people are able to see the screen, no problem. So here you have the calculator. You can see different calculators are there. So you can see here different calculators. You just need to put IP subnet calculator. You will get so many different calculators are there. All right. So you can see here, I clicked on any of the calculator. So if I say 10.0.0.0 calculate. So subnet mask bit 8. Okay, okay, 1 second, hold on. Let me open the ready-made calculator. 1 second. 1 second. 1 second. Yeah. So here, so you can see here network. One second. This is also not required. Just a second. 1 second. I will show you the calculator, which is ready-made calculator, not this one. Hold on. One second. Just give me a minute. Okay, now 1 second. Now let me know if you're able to see my screen. This was the actual calculator you need to see. Okay, can you see this? Okay, now if you see this calculator, now let's assume class A you have, class B you have, and class C you have. This calculator, what it will do is that based on your subnet masks, you can put whatever the value you need. It automatically gives you the content. For example, let's assume class A. These are the mask bits 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So you can see, right, 30. These are the mask bits are there. Starting with 8 till 30, because you can only configure between 8 and 30. The reason is that 8 for the first octet starts with one network, we said 3 host bits, we said, right? So from 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, these all are the mask bits what you can calculate. So if you say 8 bits, 10 network, if you go with 8 mask bits, you will get 16 lakhs of IP addresses, starting with an IP from 10.0.0.1 to 10.255.255.254 is the IP addresses you can apply. Now, sir, lot many people will have doubt, like, sir, how exactly, we are matching or we are calculating it or on my network. Let us take that you need to build 1000 machine environment. Let us assume a scenario that you need to set up a 1000 machines environment. If I make an 8 mask bits, you are getting how many hosts? 16 lakhs hosts you're getting. I don't want that much. How many I need? 1000 machine environment I need. So what I can do, I can change my mask bit. So if I say 10 mask bits, I am getting 41 lakhs, right? If I am saying 14 mask bits, I am getting 2 lakhs. If I am saying 20 mask bits, I am getting 4000 machines, right? If I make 21 mask bits, I am getting 2000. If I say 22, I am getting 1000, which means that if I need 1000 machine IP environment, I need to make a mask bit of /22, which means that in my network calculator or in my environment, if I open my notepad, let's assume I need 1000 machines 10.0.0.0 slash, if I say 22, then how many I will get? I will get total 1022 machines I will get. How I will get? First IP will get 10.0.0.1 and last IP will get 10.0.3.254 is my last. If I am choosing 22 mask bit. Now you might get it out, sir, how I am calculating this /22 or /23 or /8 /9/10. What exactly this calculation is all about? So basically what it will do is that for the people who doesn't have a knowledge, they need to, last time I sent you subnet calculator videos. I'm not sure how many people have studied it. So it is basically 1 octet is equal to 8 bits. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 like this, 8 dot 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 dot 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 dot 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 dot 8 dot like this. If you put, so it comes under 2 power 0, 2 power plus 2 power 1, 2 power 2, 2 power 3, 2 power 4, 2 power 5, 2 power 6, 2 power 7 is equal to, you will get 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 255 means 1 octet is equal to 8 bit. 8 bits means 2 power 0 plus 2 power 1 plus 2 power 2 plus 2 power 3, so on. It is 255. So your default broadcasting is nothing but for the 8 bit is 255.255.255.255. Now when you break this octets into subnets, nothing but mask bits, that is where you are getting this IP addresses. Now how do I calculate the 2 power 0 plus 2 power 1? For that I will share you a YouTube video where you can learn how to do a manual calculation. But in the real environment, there will be so much of huge networks will be there. It will take a lot of time for you to do the manual calculation, means doing in the notepad, calculating. It will take a lot of time. For your ease of the administration, they have made you a subnet calculator ready-made here. You put the mask bits what you need, automatically you will get the IP range. What is your first IP, what is your last IP, everything is automatic. You no need to do anything. Now you want to know how to do the manual calculation. For that I will send you a separate video where you can learn how to do a manual calculation. But if you want to know ready-made, this is the solution. Let's assume customer says that he needs 10,000 machines, IP addressing range. So what you need to do, you need to put the mask bit 19. 19 is giving you 8,000 machines. You put 18, you will get 16,000 machines. So which means that if you need 10,000, you need to again break into two things. So what you need to understand here is that if you try to break the mask bits, try to break the network into pieces, you will get so many different types of IPs. Means you will get a lot of IPs in your environment. So these are nothing but, these are the IP ranges. These are basically to get you the IP ranges in the platform. You have all these options. So if you use this IP ranges, you will get an idea how to configure it. Okay, so you can create. So Nishant, it is after the class you can ask me the questions, then I will give you time where you can ask me, so that it will be clear. So these are the mask bits. So you can see here 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So if you click on 18, it will tell you how many IPs you will get. If you click on 24, it will tell you how many IPs you will get. So remember here, the lesser the mask bit, the more you will get the IPs. The more the mask bits, you will get the lesser the IPs. If I put it here 10, you will get more IPs. If I make the mask bit lesser, if I make 24, I will get small IP, means less number of IPs. If your environment is smaller, you need to make a bigger mask bits. Like that, you can create. You no need to do any homework, nothing. It's very simple. You take class A or class B or class C, you can just choose what mask bit you need. 8 till 30 you have the mask bits. You can choose between any of these mask bits for your IP breaking. Means if you want to break the network into pieces, choose the mask bit and keep it. For example, let's assume that your company has told you to create 192 class. He needs 3 networks. So what you can do, select class C, and by default 24, because remember here, as I told you, class B mask bit starts from 16, class C starts from 24, class A starts from 8, because class A, first one is network, next 3 are host. Class B, 2 are network, next 3 are host. Class C, 3 are network, rest last one is your host. So you can see the change here itself. If you click on class A, you can see at the bottom, it is automatically changed. You can see here, 1 network, 3 hosts. If I select class B, 2 network, 3 hosts. Okay, 2 network and 2 hosts. If I select class C, 3 network and 1 host. So you need to understand here, automatically the calculation is done as per the the requirement. So you don't need to do anything. You just select here and do it. Now you will get a doubt, sir, is this the same thing for AWS also, or is this the same thing for the cloud also? So you need to understand here. In the cloud, when it comes to the cloud, it is different. In the cloud, what happens is that the mask bits, basically the CID or the mask bits for the subnets, what we define, right? Amazon has given certain terms and conditions. Okay, what is that terms and conditions? So if I open this notepad, if you are, everyone are able to see, okay. So when it comes to AWS, there are certain rules are there. Okay, you can use class A, class B, class C, same. There is no difference. You can use the same 3 classes: class A, class B, and class C. You can use the same classes. Class A range 10 network, class B 172 network, and class C 192.168.0.0 network. You can use class A, you can use class B, you can use class C. Same, there's no difference. In AWS also same, in Azure also same, in Google also same, in your normal networking also same. You need to use only these 3 classes. But when you when you break the network into pieces, basically classless interdomain, the subnet range, the subnetting, in general normal networking, you can start from /18 to /30. This is what you can do in general in the normal networking. But in AWS, you cannot do the subnet from /8 to /30. AWS provides the limitation saying that if you want to do the subnetting /16 to /28, this is rule number 1, which means that if you want to break the network into pieces, if you want to do the subnetting, if you want to do the subnetting in AWS environment, your network should not you should not use the subnet, means the mask bits less than 16, more than 28. You should only play between /16 to /28. Amazon will tell you only to use between /16 to /28. You cannot use more than /16, sorry, less than /16 or more than 28. You need to use only between these two. Okay, that is the rule number 1. Now you will ask me, sir, what does it mean? How exactly I need to use this /16 to /28? Very simple. So let's assume that you want to create an AWS network. Okay, so let me know if you're able to see my screen. I am taking to the AWS network. Okay, just a second. So services, I am going to a service called as VPC. Okay, this is my AWS networking console. So after EC2, we have a service called as VPC, which is a networking service. If I click on VPC, it will take me to the VPC tab. On the left side, you have something called as your VPCs. Click on your VPCs. Okay. Here you get an option called as create a VPC. Okay. Now what is this VPC? Before I put and show you the network, you need to understand what is this VPC. VPC is nothing but an isolated portfolio, or you can say isolated platform, or you can say isolated portion on your network. So VPC is nothing but virtual private cloud, which will define what network you want to use in your AWS. You have only 3 networks you can use. What is the 3 networks? Class A network, Class B network, Class C network. Any of these 3 networks you can use. Let's assume I will say, and I'll give a name, my India, and I want to use 10 network, 10.0.0.0/16, because I told you I can use between /16 to /28. I cannot go beyond that. And I created a VPC /16. Now, when I want to do a subnet, means when I want to break this network into pieces, I can use only between /16 to /28 because my network is /16. So if I'm selecting my India, if I scroll down, I will give a name. So my CIDR block name which I'm giving, I'll say, okay, I'm saying Bangalore. And here I can define 10.0.0.0/16 I can give, 17 I can give, 18 I can give, 19 I can give, 20 I can give, no problem. So let's assume I have given 20 and say create. Right? So I am able to create a network of 10.0.0.20. Now in this 10.0.0.20 subnet I have created, and here it is showing me 4091 IPs I can use. Can you see that? How many IPs I can use? 4091 IPs I can use. Now let me take you to my calculator. Okay, if you see my calculator here, same thing I will put it in my calculator. Okay, what is this IP? 10.0.0.0/20. I'll go to the calculator. I am not doing anything. Mask bit I am making 20. Now here it is showing me 4096 is the total subnets. Host per subnet 4094. But in AWS it is showing me 4091. So 96 minus 5, where did my 5 IPs gone? Right, is the question. Correct? So 4091 should be there, but 96 is the total. It's showing me here. What about my 5 IPs? So remember here, in this 4096, the host per subnet is 4094, which means that first is your subnet network ID, last is a broadcast. By default, whenever you take an IP range, one IP will be taken for your network, one IP will be taken for your broadcast. So you can't use these 2 IPs. Okay, so which means if I take a calculator, if I take a manual notepad, so if I say 10.0.0.0/20, so 10.0.0.0 is the first I can't use because subnet ID nothing but network part, right? And 10.255 dot whatever the 255.255 whatever it is, so that we can say broadcast. So which means that 2 IPs gone, means first IP for network, last IP for broadcast. So in 4096 minus 2, you will get 4094. But when you go and see the AWS console here, it is showing only 4091 IPs. What about that next 3 IPs? So you need to understand here. So apart from this, what AWS will do is that 10.0.0.1, 10.0.0.2 and 10.0.0.3, the first 3 IP addresses also will be AWS will be using it on the platform. Okay, so you need to understand here. Okay, how does this AWS uses this in the platform and what exactly AWS is doing it on the platform. So as I told you, VPC is nothing but virtual private cloud, which is nothing but logically isolated network. So as I told you, you can use 10 network, you can use 172 network, and you can use 192 network. Whether you use 10 network or whether you use 172 network or whether you use 192 network. So as I told you, /16 and /28 is the mask bit addresses you can use, and in which, as I told you, the first IP address will be going for a network address, and the last one is the broadcast address. Apart from it, 10.0.01 is nothing but Amazon is blocking this for VPC router. So Amazon is using for VPC router because internally for your VPC to work, because VPC itself is nothing but a virtual router. VPC works as a virtual router, so it requires one IP addresses. So it will be using that IP address. Okay. And second one is Amazon is using for DNS server. Okay. It is also reserved by AWS for DNS server. Okay. So which this also Amazon will not allow to use it. And the third one is basically they kept for future use, reserved for future purpose they reserved. So 4096 minus 2 and minus 3 is equal to 4091. So any given point of network you create in AWS, 5 IPs will not be provided to anyone. That will be by default left in the environment, and that can be used by AWS for the router and other stuff and other things. Okay, so you need to understand this. This is the rule which has been created by AWS. So what you need to understand is that first rule is that /16 to /28 you can use it for the CIDR blocks, classless interdomain routing blocks, basically the subnets what you define. And second thing is that 5 IPs will be used or will be kept aside, okay, in every given network. So all these are being used in your AWS. So you can use 3 classes, 10.0.0.0, or you can use 172.16.0.0, or you can use 192.168.0.0. These 3 classes can be used, and these 3 classes can be broken into these kind of a networks. So now you will get a doubt. Let's assume that now I created Bangalore subnet. Let's assume I want to create one more subnet called as Mumbai subnet. Can I create? I can go here, select my VPC, scroll down. I am scrolling down. Okay, give a name here. I will say Delhi or Mumbai, and 10.0.0.0/20. Can I create now? Again /20. Do you think can I create? It is saying overlapping. So remember here, I already created 10.0.0./20. So is it possible for me to create one more subnet? I am unmuting it. Can I create the same 10.0.0./20?
No.
No.
Yes, because it will overlap. Now I want to create next subnet. What is that subnet I should be able to create? Can anybody answer? Very simple. If you understand the logic of breaking the network, you can easily understand. 10.0.0.0/20 I have created. Now I want to create. Customer is saying that, sir, I need more 4,000 IPs. He needs one more 4,000 IPs. What would be my next subnet?
/16 or /18.
No.
We can go for 192.168. That one can I use?
192 if you're going means you're completely going to a new network. I don't want to go with a new network. I want to be in the same 10 network.
172.31.0.0.
Again, the same thing you people are telling. I am telling.
We'll change this 10.0.0.20 by 20 to 10.0.0/21. Sorry, /19.
First listen, then answer. Okay, just listen. Now 10.0.0.0/20 has given you 4000 IPs, correct? Now, question is that I don't want to go with 172 network. I don't want to go with 192 network. I want to be with the same 10 network and I need more IPs. What is the next subnet will be there to configure as 10 network? That is what my question is.
/19 we can use.
Can be configured 10.1.0.0/20.
No.
No, change is for 19.
No, we need to just change the subnet. It's from 20 to 19 or 18.
/19.
I want the 20 to be continued.
No,
It
thing
will be
is that we
continued,
just
right?
want to continue from the last previous IP which has been left.
Exactly, correct. Somebody who's told exactly the perfect answer. So remember here, you don't need to do anything. Just if you don't understand, if you don't know also, simply go to the calculator. Okay, just put this in the calculator and see. If you put the calculator 10.0.0.01 what is your first IP here? 10.0.0.1. What is the last IP?
15.254.
Correct. So your next subnet will be 10.0.16.0. So if you try to put anything below that, it will not allow you. You can try, go to create subnet, click on VPC, select India and say, let's assume if I say, okay, Mumbai, and I'll say 10.0.15.0. Let's assume, okay. I will say 20 because my 20 network, right? So if I say create, what it is saying? It is saying overlapping because already that has been used, right? So what you can do, make it
16.
and now you try and say create subnet. Happily it is working, right? Now what would be my next subnet? Can anybody tell? Easily now you can tell.
50.0.16.1. 2.2, sorry.
Again, go to that portal.
No, again go to the calculator.
What is the next? I told you, go to the calculator. And what you do here?
You change it to 16,
10.0.16.0. Okay, and same 20 mask bit. What it is coming? What is the last bit?
31.
31. Then what is the next?
So Samir, this calculator dependency here, right? Without calculator, I cannot assign.
Without calculator, no. You can assign, but you should do manual calculation, either through calculator or manual calculation. Any network administrator, either he will do through calculator or through manually, he will put it in a paper and he will do the calculation.
Samir, I am failed to understand. Actually, there earlier you were selecting 10.0.0.1, right?
Mm-hmm.
10. So 1 would be the host. So in case we need to change the next segment of the subnet, then we need to, as you were saying, we need to select the second, as a third octet. Why is it so? Can you please let me know?
See, class A consists of, you can one network bit and 3 hosts.
Right.
Class B consists of 2 network bits and 2 hosts. Class C consists of 3 networks and so either you can change the second one or third one, any of these 2 networks.
Okay. Yeah, last one will be used for host. So last one will be changed. That's why I confused earlier that why you are selecting 10.0.0.1.
No. It has automatically created. So now I can create any other name. I can say Kolkata and I can create, 10.0.31 is already there. So 32./20 and say, scroll down and say create subnet. I can create like that. I can keep on create 4,000 like this. You'll get, IPs you'll get in your environment, right? These are the subnets. So remember the rule. What the rule is that /16 to /28. Now some people will ask a question, sir, why /16 to /28? Why can't I use /8? Why can't I use /10? Or why can't I use /12? Baba, that /16 to /28, Amazon, if you are in your normal networking, you can use /8, you can use /9, you can use /10. Because you are doing in AWS platform, Amazon has given that restrictions for the network because they are managing the environment. You are not managing the environment. Who is managing the physical environment? AWS is managing the physical environment. That's the reason for the virtual environment, they have made this strategy and they told that only use between for your virtual machine /16 to /28. /16 to /28 also so many IPs. See, just imagine one network 4000 IPs you got. Like this, if I keep on create, I get so many number of IPs. Means class A, class B, class C. Any of these three ranges, any of these subnets you can configure. Remember one thing, you should never overlap your IP addressing. Okay. Now, what do you mean by overlapping? Once you define the same IP address, you should not put it in the system. The moment you try to put it in the system, it will throw an error saying that already it is in use. So you can't use the same network if it is already been created in your AWS environment. Now, some people will ask, sir, I am not from networking background, sir. I am not understanding how to create this subnet, how to create network. So much of confusion, sir. Very simple. Can we have a simple way to define? See, Amazon is giving you two options. People who want to be a network architects, they need to do this. Now you don't want to configure any network. You want a ready-made or steady platform. By default, there is a default VPC for the people who do not get into or do not want to go into AWS networking and they don't want to customize any environment. There is a default networking is there. So default networking means Amazon has already created the network and already created the subnets for you. So you can see, right, default subnets are there. 172.31 range is nothing but your default subnet. Now you want to create your own subnet, then this is the process. Now, sir, that's also okay. Where do we have any other easiest way apart from configuring it? Either you should know subnet calculator way to calculate, or either you should know manual way to calculate. For a manual way to calculate, that they will teach you when you learn. I think you all people know CCNA. Have you heard about CCNA? Cisco Certified Network Associate. There they will teach you how to create a manually calculate that thing. For that only, I have last week I sent 2 weeks back. I've sent one video. Okay, but again I'll forward you the same video. When you listen that video, you will understand how to put it in the paper and how to calculate. But not to worry. Nowadays it's all gone. Nobody will have that much time to do manual calculation and all. Simply put it in the calculator, what subnet you want, what bit you want, automatically it will provide you the list. Take that list and put it in your AWS platform. And very easy and very quick to create your network. So I just showed you 10 network. It is not necessary that you should create only 10 network. You can create in 192 also. If I say create VPC, again I can give a name. Let's assume that I am giving a name called as USA, and I can say 192.168.0.0/16. I can say scroll down and I can say create VPC. This is 192 class. Now go to subnet. I can create a subnet of 192 and create a subnet. I can give a name USA and scroll down. I will give a name subnet name called as Houston. Okay, and I'll give 192.168. Now 0.0/16/20. I am giving 24. I'll give 21, 22. Anything between these ranges I can use. I am giving 24. Scroll down here. Create subnet. I can create. Now you want a next subnet in the same 24. 255, 256 in -5. 251 IPs are being used. I can create n number of subnets. If I want in the same subnet, create one more subnet, select a VPC, USA, scroll down. Very quickly you can create without any problems. Go here, I will say Texas and say 192.168.1.0/24. I'm giving one network. Okay, why? Because 0 to 255 is occupied in /24. Now you want to know whether it is correct or not. Simply go to the calculator. Go to class C. 24. So you can see, right? 0 means 0.255 is occupied. Next one is 1. Next one is 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Like this, 254 networks you can get created in a smaller space. Like this, you can play with it. You can create 192 networks, 10 networks, 172 networks. You can create. So basically, the idea is that VPC is nothing but virtual private cloud, which will see VP. What is VPC in AWS? So this you need to understand. This is a virtual router. In Amazon, VPC is nothing but which will do complete work of your networking. It will work as a router. It will help you to create the subnets. It will help you to configure the internet connection. It will make you to provide an IP addressing assignment. It will work as a DNS if you want to configure the local DNS, if you want to configure the DHCP, and if you want to configure the VPN connections. For anything to do in your AWS, the first step you need to come to VPC. The VPC is a platform where any networking in AWS, if you want to do, you need to come to VPC. Remember here, there are limitations in VPC. Maximum VPCs in a single account with per region is 5. How many you can create? Only 5 VPCs you can create. You cannot create more than 5 VPCs per account. Now you will say that, sir, you are telling only 5 accounts, 5 VPCs. Now, I need a very huge environment. I need so many IPs. Only 5 VPCs is very tough for me. I have so many, different applications. I want to create different VPCs for different applications. Is it possible? Yes. Then that time you need to go and configure multi-account platform, where you can create multiple accounts in AWS to configure it. So all these are the different options you are getting in AWS, whether you can go and create single environment. It's like now what you're doing is like you register an account. It's a single account. You're able to create 5 VPCs. Now, if you want multiple VPCs to be created, you should have an environment called as multi-account platform, which you learn in a AWS advanced professional topic. There is a concept called as control tower, or there's a topic called as organizations. There you understand about how to configure multi-account platform in your AWS. But in general, in a single account, you will get an option to create 5 VPCs. You can create subnets. Now you'll get a doubt, sir, how many subnets I can create? So per VPC, you can configure 200 subnets. 200 subnets you can create based on the VPC what you're creating. So again, 200 subnets are the huge IPs you can configure. And like that, VPC is nothing but a network part. Subnet is nothing but a combination where it provides you breaking of the network into pieces. Whether you go with VPC or subnet, remember here, it is only for private IP addressing. You can only configure 172 network, 10 network, or 10, 172 or 192 network. Only these 3 networks you can configure. No, you don't want private networking. You want public networking. Amazon is providing you 2 types of IP addressing. One is public IP address and second one is called as elastic IP address. Both are public IP addresses only. Both are internet IP addresses only. But the problem here is that public IP address are not static. It is internet IP, but it's not static. It will be only assigned for the EC2 instances. The moment you power on, the public IP will be provided, and the moment you power off, the public IP will be losing. But if you want a fixed, you don't want ever the IP should be removed or changed, Amazon is giving you an option called as elastic IP. This is nothing but you can allocate elastic IP from Amazon IP addressing pooling. If you go down here and say allocate, automatically a elastic IP will be allocated, and this IP you can assign to any of these machines. You can assign to a server, you can assign to a firewall, you can assign to anything you can assign. So remember here, this elastic IP is nothing but it's a chargeable IP because it's an internet IP. This IP, the moment you assign, anybody in the world can access that elastic IP. So elastic IP is internet accessible IP, and VPC, whatever you create the subnets in the VPC, those are called as private IPs. There are two types of IPs, private IP, public IP. Private IP is nothing but LAN IPs, public IP is nothing but WAN IPs. LAN IP is for your local internet communication, WAN IP is nothing but for the public internet connection. So in VPCs, virtual private cloud, we say, where you have an option to create a network. That network, in as per the AWS condition, is that /16 to /28 is the CIDR block which you can configure for your subnets. Not less than or not more than you can create, and you can create multiple bits, and you can configure multiple IP addresses. And other than that, the limitation is that maximum 5 VPCs you can create in a single account, and 200 subnets you can configure. If you have any questions, you can ask me now.
Samir, how many EC2 will be created in a one subnet?
How many IPs you would get per subnet based on that? Your EC2 doesn't have limit ना देवेश, आप कितना भी चाहिए आप create कर सकते हो. But अगर आप, if you're creating one EC2, you want one IP, you will one IP will be consumed from that. Suppose we created a subnet, you have seen it, 4096 IPs you are getting. So which means that in that -5 means 4091 IPs are there. When you launch an EC2 instance, those many 4091, one machine, if you're giving one IP, 4091 IPs, 4091 machines you can create. Okay, if you want one machine, 2 IPs, 2 network cards, you're using 2 IPs, then the half of the machines you can create. If you are using 3 network cards in your EC2 machine and you want to use it, then you will be using only 1000. So depends on how many IPs. Let's assume that if I go to services here, I go to EC2. If I go to EC2 here, if I click on instances, right, I say launch instance, यहाँ पर click किया हूँ, or I select Linux or any Windows or any machine, click on next, और यहाँ पर what I need to do, I need to select, let's assume I selected my India and I have these subnets. Let's assume I selected Bangalore and I select next. How many IPs are there? You can see, right? 4091. The moment I select next, review and launch, and I'll select launch instance, 4091 minus 1, how many? 4090.
4090.
For the next time when you go and when you launch, now the same network, if you select Bangalore, it will show you that 4090 IPs are there. Go here, my India, same select Bangalore. Can you see this?
Okay, yes.
Very simple.
Samir, this elastic IP is nothing but, like, normally it used to be like static IP. If you want to use and delete that one means, then you will use this elastic IP, right? Am I right?
So no. So first you need to understand what is the purpose of elastic IP. Correct? Question number 1, right?
Yeah.
Why do I need to go with elastic IP? Okay. When I have a private IP, why I basically use this elastic IP? What is the purpose of it? Okay. So remember here, elastic IP is a public IP and public IP is also public IP. Both are same, I'm telling. There's no difference between public IP and elastic IP. But the difference here is that elastic IP is fixed. Okay. Public IP is changeable, means it will not be fixed. So very simple. I'll cancel this. I will show you. Now, if you see this machine getting launched, I will delete this and I'll show you practically. This is Nageshwar, right? So 1 second, terminate. I'll go here. Nageshwar, you can see this. Go here, select one machine and click on next. So I am selecting my India and I am making enable public IP. Okay, next, which means that I'm using public IP. I'll show you the difference between public IP and elastic IP. Next, review and launch, 1, 2, 3, 4, launch. Okay, now I launched it. Scroll down, view instance. Now machine is getting launched. Okay, now I select this machine. So if you see Nageshwar, can you see this?
Yeah, 15.207, 111,
Keep
195.
that in your mind. 15.207, 111, 195. Let's assume this is your production server. You are connecting over the internet from, you're not connecting through LAN. Let's assume that this machine is assigned for public IP people who want to connect because it's an open address. It is written clearly. It's an open address, means connecting from the public internet world. Now, for some reason, action, instant state, stop. Some problem happened. There is a suddenly, machine got stopped, and suddenly we want to again start back. Okay, because of some XYZ reasons on this machine. Okay, now refresh. Okay, it is stopping. Let's wait. Just give a second. You'll get a difference. Now I am again refreshing. Now it is stopped, right? Now again I'm powering on. Okay. Now refresh again. Okay, now I select. Now scroll down. Refresh. Select. Scroll down. Now, Nageshwar, what is the IP you got?
Yeah, changed.
So, if you go with the public IP, it's an internet IP. IP is not fixed. It will keep on change. Let's assume you all people are working different. Everyone are working with that IP. Your application is configured with the public IP to connect with that, and it has been tagged with DNS and blah blah things. Now, if IP changes, what will happen? Again, you need to.
So you have to change
all
in
the
every
saying
places.
that,
So wherever it is used.
yeah, you should inform all the users that, boss, IP address change, please use the new IP, right? So this is the only thing you need to understand is that it's an internet IP. It's not a static IP. It will keep on change. That is for testing purpose. In production, if you want to test the connectivity over the internet, or you have something to work as a firewall, you want to use it as a connectivity purpose, just for some XYZ reasons, you can go with a public IP. But in production, we never use public IPs at all. Okay, we always use either elastic IPs, or if you want to use it, we use it for my firewalls or anything. We never use for any operating system. We never use public IPs. If anybody want to connect in the organization, we only connect via our what IPs? We'll only be connecting via our private IPs. We will not connect via public IPs. Now somebody asked me a question like, sir, can I connect through my private IP addresses? So that one, Nishant, that you will get when you learn, when you understand about a concept called as VPN. Right now, I can't explain because we are very starting in the networking. So once you understand VPN concept, then you will know how to connect from your laptop directly with the private IP address. Means with this IP address, you can connect without going with the public IP address. Okay. So right
Samir,
now,
one thing, in case of this public IP, we can, for public IP, we used to buy it from the ISPs, right?
yeah.
Or we can get it from Amazon directly. I'm not sure the procedure. So we can put it in front of a firewall and we create NAT. In that scenario, public IP will be static, right? Like you
Correct.
said that public IP will be
Yeah.
DHCP.
That is what in AWS we call it as elastic IP.
Okay.
In AWS, that is called as elastic IP.
Samir.
Yeah.
This public IP, that means we can use for testing purpose only, not for production.
Yes.
For production, we should use
elastic
IP only.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, you will get in next in the VPN. When we discuss about the VPNs, there we'll discuss about how to configure it. Okay. So right now, to explain you to understand, yes, the public IPs are only for the testing purpose. If you want to use it for the production, you need to go and deploy in the elastic IP addresses. So if you do deploy the elastic IP addresses, you can. So like this, elastic IP addresses or public IP address, you can create as many as you want, no problem. Whenever you launch, you can launch. It's free of cost. You can launch public IP addresses, no problem, for the testing purposes. But remember one thing, Elastic IP is chargeable, public IP is free. Elastic IP maximum, you can create 5 elastic IPs. More than 5 you cannot create for an account. It is only 5. Now you will ask, sir, this 5 will be enough for a single account? 5. If you have multi accounts, you can create. And next thing is that if you need more, you need to raise a request. And other than that, the one more thing is that, as I told you, you will always try to avoid using this open addresses, nothing but public or elastic IPs. Only for the firewalls, for the NATing purpose, as Devnath said, for that purpose, it is fine. But for instances, for the virtual machines, you should never use this thing. Okay.
So, Samir, just one question here, Prasad here. So I'm just trying to understand with respect to the subnet what we have created. These are the private networks created across location for any development team to access this over a VPN.
Yes.
Is the correct understanding?
Yes. So
but then we don't need this much of range, like 4,000 what we have created. Not 4,000 people are going to access it.
Not required. I just created. You want smaller range? Go and create smaller range.
Okay, so we can go in 192 range where it gives me a smaller provision of creating.
Yeah. It is all your
That's
wish.
one.
Only 5 machines, you create 5 machine network. You want 10 machines, you create 10 machine network. This is just a lab. I just showed you. Aapko jo chahiye, you can create.
So with VPC, I can also connect two different instances over different network, or it has to be in the same private network.
No. So remember one more thing. One more beautiful question you asked. So VPC itself is a virtual router, correct or not? I told you, right? So let me ask you one question. 10.0.1.0 is one network. 10.0.2.0 is a different network, or is it the same network?
Is it the same network?
It's depend upon subnet mask.
No, listen carefully the question. Forget about AWS, keep it aside. Forget about cloud, keep it aside. Normal basic networking question. 10.0.1.0 is one network. 10.0.2.0 is a different network, or it will come under a
Same network.
Same network because their
Both
host.
are class A IP. It is a class A IP, or 1 bit for network, or 3 octet for host.
Yeah, but one network and two network are same networks.
If the subnet is same, then it will be same network. If subnet is different, then it will be different network.
No, network, same network.
Ideally, it should be same network because
okay, let me ask you like this. Let me ask you like this. Okay. 10.0.1.0 is a laptop you assigned to Shivling's lab computer. Okay. Akhilesh computer you assigned 10.0.2.0. Can these two can communicate?
No, because they are in different network.
The same question I asked you, then you're saying it's the same network.
Subnet are different, sir.
So you need to understand here that 10.0.1.0 is one network and 10.0.2.0 is a different network. Two different networks. However, in AWS, 10.0.1.0 or 2.0 or 3.0 or 50.0 or 100.0 doesn't matter, because when you define the 10 network class in AWS, by default all these network will communicate each other without any problems in only in AWS. In other technologies, like if you take your traditional technology, it is not like that. You need to have a router to route between these networks. But in AWS, because your VPC itself works as a virtual router, you take 10.0.1.0, you take 10.0.2.0, you take 10.0.3.0, you take any network inside the same AWS environment, 10 or 0.0 or 2.0, 3.0, 5.0, 10.0, 100.0, it will communicate without any problems within the same class. Now you will ask me a question, sir, one is 10 network, another one is 172 network. Can these two communicate? No. That time it is different, because that is a different class. Same class, it will communicate. Different class, it will not communicate. But now you will say that, sir, I want the different class also to be communicated. What should I do? For that, there is a different solution. For that, in AWS, we have a solution called as peering, which you will learn slowly. So right now, what we are talking is that same class, same network, same subnet, how we can define and how can we create them.
Samir, can we do trunking to communicate between two different subnet?
So by default, in the same class you're asking, or in different class you're asking?
Different class I'm asking.
Different class, you don't need to do any trunking, or you don't need to do any kind of a routing or anything, because Amazon has a functionality feature called as peering. When you create a peering connection, it will add a routes to communicate. So that with that way, you are, you can communicate between 2 or 3 or 4 different classes. You can communicate without any kind of a problems.
And what about the same segment? Same segment means let's assume ki this is a class A address, like it is a 10.0x.x.x. So if I select 10.0.15.0 and the another subnet is 10.0.15.0. So how we communicate between 15 and 16?
Sir, same class, why do you? I told you already. If it is same class, you don't need to have the peering. If it's a different class, you need to do the peering.
No, I understood that we need the pairing services to be enabled for different classes. What my question is, usually what is happened that between the same class, but if the subnet is different, we need to create a trunking or something to communicate between, because usually it is not communicate.
Here not required.
Okay.
Samir, I think peering is nothing but we can communicate between more than VPC, right?
Yes.
So one VPC only we can assign one class, like class A.
Correct.
IP.
You are right. Absolutely correct.
And another VPC we can assign another.
Yes. And one more thing you need to remember, Devesh or others, that you cannot overlap. You can create same class in another VPC also, no doubt about it. But as long as you're working as a independent, no problem. If you're trying to merge both classes together, then it's a problem. Okay. What I mean to say is that, let's assume in you created a VPC called 10.0.0.0/16, one VPC. Another VPC also you created 10.0.0.0/16. No problem, you can create. But let's assume 10.0.1.0 you created one subnet in another one VPC. In another VPC also you created 10.0.1.0/24 one subnet. Same subnets you created. As long as they are working independently, no problem. Now you say that, sir, this VPC want to communicate with that VPC. You can't. You cannot do the peering between two same networks.
It will be overlapping, right?
Exactly, it will be overlapping. You're right.
Samir, in that case, I think account it will work account level, right? Within multiple account means account does have the separate configuration.
Yes, separate configuration, correct.
So in that case, how we can communicate like two VPC? Either we can change this configuration.
VPC is a unique VPC. When you create a virtual private cloud VPC ID, it's a unique. Okay, so it is very simple, Devesh. See, as long as you are connecting over the internet for the communication, no problem. But you want to join both into same common network, then it's a problem. Like very simple. अभी आपका एक laptop है, मेरा laptop है. If I send both IPs same together, what will happen? If I put the both in the same network, what will happen?
Yeah, it will conflicting, right?
Same thing. So in the network also, as long as you're working separately, isolated, no problem. But you want to communicate with the same IP, both are using same IP, then it will be a conflict. Same thing we are telling in the overlapping. Also the same concept, like you can create multiple environments, you can create multiple networks. As long as you are not overlapping, no problem. If you're overlapping, then you need to avoid that overlapping and you create a different networks.
So, Samir, question like we have a two account, but we don't know who. Now, suppose I have a one account, you have another account, but you have created on VPC, I have created on VPC, but we don't know what you have used the IP addresses. But in future, the requirement, okay, we want to communicate with my VPC and your VPC. So in that case,
I need to know your network and you need to understand my network. You cannot, without that, you can't do it. No network administrator will allow that. First question they will ask is that, can you please share me your network inventory? What is your subnets you have been configured?
no, okay, fine. So do you have any like a solution if now suppose we are using the same IP addresses? So in the future, the requirement like company, okay, decided, okay, now we can connect the VPC one to another. So in that case, can we change the IP addresses and it will work?
Yeah, why not? You can change the IP addresses, you can create a new network and you can configure it. So in production, how it works is that if your organizations are getting merged, or let's assume that, EMC, Dell acquired a company called EMC, okay? And there is, before it was, they were using 10 network and, let's assume Dell is also using a 10 network. There is chances that, both are in the same network, if they, whenever they want to merge it, it will be a problem because they are also using the same network. These people are also using the same network. What they do is that they will do the architectural study. They will understand, okay, this network, what is the CIDR blocks they are using, what is the CIDR blocks these people are using, and what are the options. That is when your network migrations will come into the picture. That's when what they do is that they migrate into a different network or they change the CIDR blocks so that there is no conflict.
Can't it handle using the different class altogether and then map those classes
If
to
they're
the
using a
required?
different class, headache, no headache only. But if you're using the same class, then only problem.
Okay, but for this merging activity, can you create a different network with altogether a different class rather than migration?
Yeah,
Because
you
migration would be hectic stuff.
Yeah, you can, no problem. See, but okay, very good question. So why this migration will come into the picture, you need to think in that angle. Okay, so one use case is that create a new network and do it. That is okay. Now customer says that, boss, I have my existing applications and all are assigned with all the same IP addresses. I don't want to change. तब क्या करोगे आप? Customer बोलेगा कि all applications, everything are assigned with the some of the IP addresses. My file servers are assigned with the same IP addresses. Everything is assigned. Okay, I don't want to change. So in that time, what I need to do is that I need to create an alternative network and I need to route it or I need to configure a NAT so that this has not been conflicted when there is a communication. So those things you'll understand when you do a NATing and all. You'll get an idea like how do you NAT between IP addresses to one network to another network. All those things you'll get to know.
Okay, thank you.
So this is a different use cases will be there. For everything there will be a different use cases. Answer will never be in single straight answer. So for one requirement there will be multiple ways of answering. So you need to understand where is the requirement, how does it fits to my environment, whether it will be working or not. You need to clear. Okay.
Samir, one question. Actually, there is a limit. 200 BPC can be created in a one account. Am I right?
No.
It's 5, right?
5 BPC, right? Okay. Yeah. 5 BPC.
Correct.
Okay. So we do have only 3 class. So in this 3 class, if I would create a 5 VPC, so here also conflicting, right? If I will assign a class A in a one VPC.
Why? As I told you, one VPC, one network. Okay, one VPC will not. You can create same VPC. Suppose 10 network, you can create one more 10 network. In all 5 VPCs also, you can create same 10 network only. No problem. It will work independently. No issue at all. As long as you are managing independently, you are creating. Suppose assume like VPC Mumbai, VPC Delhi, VPC Chennai, VPC Hyderabad. I will create. And in that I have some 1,000 machines, same 10 network, different different subnets. I'm using it, no problem. But if you're trying to communicate, if you're trying to make this Mumbai and Chennai as a common network, you're making this connection, and you're telling that both are the same network. That is where the problem will come. And that too, when it will come, If your IP range and that range is not common, then only you will get the problem. Okay. Okay. So any more questions? Nishant, tomorrow I'll make a half an hour early session for the people for EC2. That time we'll discuss about EC2 instance questions.
Samir, tomorrow also network, same?
Yes, network only.
From 11:30, right?
11:30, correct. Okay, I will share you some. So what you do is that for people who are new to networking, go to YouTube, simple, and no need to teach anything. Type what is subnetting fundamentals, what is subnetting. Okay, there will be manual calculation will be there. You just see, just listen for 15-20 minutes, you will get an idea. Who doesn't want to do hard work? Simple, come to the IP subnet calculator, put it in the calculator, you will get all the subnets, whatever you want. Okay, so tomorrow I will show you in the presentation because you're new. I was just explaining you in the calculator. Once I start with the presentation, then you'll understand the concept. So now you know what is VPC, you know what is subnets. You can start practicing, log into your AWS console, create VPC subnets. You will get more knowledge.
Samir, can we start a little bit early because like I work from 1 o'clock.
Just give me some time. Let me check with others also. Okay. And I'll let you know.
Okay, fine. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, guys. So we'll catch up again tomorrow. I will post you in the WhatsApp. Okay, timing.
Thanks, Samir.
You have WhatsApp group, Samir?
Pardon?
Do you have any WhatsApp group going on? Like you can add me out, please.
For your batch, they are going to create in Buzz, so they will let you know.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.